Hey everybody, welcome or welcome back. You have found me here in my little corner of the world. My name is Heidi. I'm known as the Pouty Mouth Stitcher, and this is my really late, behind, whatever, WIP Parade for the year. I figured why do it when everyone else is doing it, right? So it is February 14th. Happy Valentine's Day. And coming to you live from the she shed. And I have piles and piles of stuff to show you. It's been a while. Like I probably should say Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and Happy Valentine's Day. I think that's how long it's been. I'm sorry. As is mostly traditional with WIP parades, that because it brings in usually there's different viewers and whatnot. So hello, welcome if you're new. I'll try not to say every other sentence. I guess a brief overview of who and what I am. I've been doing Flosstube now for almost 3 years. Where has the time gone? And I don't like the way this looks, sorry. Whatever, good enough. Like I said, I'm Heidi. I'm originally from Ohio. You can see the little Ohio above me. It's like a thought. Originally from Ohio, and it's pretty much been half my life. I've been in Virginia though. I'm near Roanoke, so I'm in the Blue Ridge Mountains of Virginia. I love it here. I'm a respiratory therapist in my real job. When I'm not entertaining the masses with my floss tubes, I'm sucking snot at the hospital. It's a good time. And what else am I doing? Oh, I have the world's most tolerant husband. With him came 2 bonus children that are absolutely delightful. And I have an amazing sister and her family in Tennessee. You'll hear more about her in a little bit. What else? I have 4 adorable cats. That's why I work, so that I can make certain they have delightful lives. That's pretty much why I'm here. And you'll hear about them. The door is closed currently, so unless someone starts scratching at the door, you may actually get through a video without seeing some part of them. We'll see. We'll see. This is their normal spot where they sleep, because they're not spoiled. The other one's on top of the freezer that looks out the window that's nice and sunny. Yeah, they're not spoiled at all. What else? I have an Etsy store called the Cottage Cat Designs. Wonder why I named it that, right? And it started about 2 years ago. I make floss drops. And at least that's how it started. And then it merged into morphed into some thread conditioner and project bag tags and needle minders and just all kinds of goodies. So if you're looking for any of that kind of stuff, check out my Etsy, the Cottage Cat Designs. I'm going to show you what's new, because if you've been with me, I kind of teased it at the end or beginning or the whole darn video the last time that my sister and I were working together on a big project, a different change, and that is dyeing fabric. Again, if you've been with me for a while, you've heard the story, so I'm not going to bother. I'm not going to bore you with how we use, our craft journey. So we had learned how to dye yarn. So we thought, let's try fabric. So let's do basic fabric first, and then let's morph from there. So what we started with was the one thing I could never really find with a lot of options. And I understand it's probably because it's not super popular. I get it, it's fine. But the older I get and the weaker my eyes are, the more I just want stitching to be easy. I love linen. I love the look of linen. I love the look of Lugana. It's delightful. But man, Aida is so easy to stitch on. So I wanted to try 20 count Aida. So you have the ease of stitching, but it's not super big. I like the bigger projects, so I don't want them to be the size of a bed sheet, so I needed a higher count. So I went looking for 20 count, and you'd find it here and there, and it's fine and beautiful stuff, but it was just harder to find. So I thought, well, if we're going to try dyeing something, let's try 20 count, because if nobody buys it, then I'm set for life, right? there you go. So as of yesterday, all these colors are on Etsy. They're only in fat quarters at the moment. We'll be changing that up as things progress. But here's our little stack of our pretty colors. And they're all super soft Ada. It's not crunchy. Crunchies are for cats, not for Ada, right? And they're all named after cat things. So either cat items or cat names, past and present kitty cats, except for one. This one is actually a really light purple. I think there's a better representation of it. But it's Connie Lou's lavender. Because when we first saw it, we're like, you know what? That looks like Mom. She loved anything purple. Lavender was her favorite. So there's Connie Lou's lavender. But the rest, we have a big stack. Of course, I start filming, so my nose starts running. It's a thing. And we have a nice big stack of beautiful neutrals. Might be a little biased with that. Let me turn my ring light around. There we go. Slightly better set of colors. But like, so that one's Whiskers. Hairball. Stinky. That was Holly's first cat. So if you ever get one and you see one with a little kitty face on it, that's because it was one of our cats at some point. Or my personal favorite, my current kitty. Again, if you've heard the stories, Buddy McWhistleshits. That is his name. We just call him Buddy, of course. That's what happens when you let your husband name the cat. It actually started with Beauregard, but the more we dealt with Buddy, and he was always just like, hey, how you doing? Happy to meet you. What's your name? What's your favorite color? You know, he reminded us of Buddy the elf, so it switched to Buddy. And it stuck. So there's our current colors, kids. If you want any, head on over to Etsy and the Cottage Cat Designs. I'll be glad to package these up and send them on for you. And if not, pretty much everything I start from here on out is going to be on 20 count Ada, one of these colors. And that'll be all right because I love them. They've been fun. We took them to the Barefoot Needle Art Retreat last weekend. It was a lot of fun. They were well received. We got a lot of good comments. We asked for feedback. What else do you like to stitch on? I understand 20 count Ada isn't everybody's jam. I get that. So what should we dye next? You want to give me your feedback? You want to send me any comments, whatever? Put them in the comments below. I'd love to hear them. And we'll go from there. That's the newest thing in Etsy. Like I said, I'm gearing up to go to market with Barefoot. They were kind enough to let me join them in their room to sell my floss drops and thread conditioner. And maybe some needle minders and charms too, but whatever. See what happens. I've got 3 weeks. I'm not panicked. Just yet. Close. Not quite. Anyways, so that's why you haven't seen me much. I haven't had enough time to stitch to show you anything. And going forward, we're praying for the best. And after March 7th, 8th, whatever day that is, maybe I'll have a little bit more time to stitch. We'll see. Anyways, the retreat was a lot of fun. I got to see a lot of cool people again. And just spend time stitching and hanging out with, you know, cool people. Stitchers are cool people. You know that. You're one of them, right? I got a little bit of haul, so I'm going to show you that first, and then we're going to go right into the WIP Parade, okay? So hit pause, whatever, get you a drink. I got mine. Get you some paper and a pen, pencil, something. You're liable to be enabled. I know I'm ready when I'm watching WIP Parades, because, you know, why not? There's always something I want. And I know it's been rough. I've been watching all these delightful market previews. I've got my list for that too. I'll be spreading the love through all the stores, I'm sure. But yeah, gosh, so many pretty stuff. So many pretty things coming. All right, quick, a little bit of haul. When we were at the retreat, pardon me, I got piles and piles everywhere. Journey Annie had a trunk show there at Barefoot. I'd never seen this one by hers. But the little crows before bros. Isn't that adorable? Support your local murder. I loved it. Had to buy it. And I saw this little guy. This was market last year, wasn't it? I believe. The pigeon puddles. Oh, that's too cute with the little galoshes. I had to take him home. And of course, I've seen this 1,000 times too. I don't know if I'm going to do the whole Quaker, but I really do like the center. Super cute. So maybe I'll do a center start and see how inspired I am by that time. Let's turn that around so maybe you don't have the glare. Susan from A Gardener's Needle was there, and she gave us this really cute pattern. It's going to be a series. She's going to do one for each words are hard season. There you go. Several people have already stitched this and finished it, and it looks amazing. And maybe they used some of my fabric, just saying. It was really kind of cool because the table beside us that was full of some of my friends. So we're talking Beth, Red Cross Stitcher, Michelle, made by Michelle McGraw, and their friends, Dina and Jody and Judy. And sorry, I can't remember everybody's name. Anyways, they all came over and they all got a different color fabric to do this pattern on. 3 of them have finished it. Go check out their videos and or on the retreat page if you belong to that. It might be on the barefoot page too, I don't know. Beautiful finishes, and they all look adorable. All she gave us was the chart, so I'm just gonna do one of those. It's a cute little bird with the spring, and it's super cute finished, so I highly recommend you go check that one out. I can't wait to see her other designs because that's gonna be, they're really cute. It's not super big, they're really adorable. So Susan knocked it out of the park with that one. Absolutely beautiful. It's a Garden Variety Spring is the name of that pattern, so look for that when it's released. What else do I have? We got one of the other vendors right beside us was Rebecca from My Recycled Relatives. Let's see if I get too much of a glare. She does these gorgeous little pins and scissor fobs and whatnot. Oh my gosh. You know, I can't resist a flag. So I got a pin and these super cute scissor fob. Isn't that adorable? I promise that's a cardinal. Here it is. And then more Patriotic. Because I have floss drops with that exact same image on it, so I'm like, oh, I know what I'm putting that on. Pick those up. That's good. One good thing about being a vendor, you get to do the quick early shopping. You're like, oh, start me a pile. Can I have some of those? Anything shiny, I'm a sucker for. Again, if you've been with me, or if you stick with me for a while, you understand I like to put beads on stuff, and I like sparkly fabric, because I'm a crow. In another life, I was a crow. I like sparkly stuff, and I collect it all. Why not? Also this week, Santa was very good to me, and I got a few gift cards to 123 Stitch. I love you. And I think in my last video, I had just gotten back from the retreat in Williamsburg where I went to Liberty Hill, and I found the Virginia sampler, this beauty, again, picture zero justice. So I went to kit her up using the called for approximately 8,328 silks, roughly. I don't know, it just seemed like that. And then when you pay for it and you sell a kidney so you can do so, or thank God for gift cards. Anywho, I got all the pretty called fors. That showed up this week. I was going to put it on my fabric, but no, there's like 15 different specialty stitches. So I opted for 32 count Lugana, which again will make this approximately the size of a throw rug, give or take. Or, you know, at least a crib sheet. I don't know. Good size. So what do y'all think? You good with that color? Just platinum. I mean, why not? There's so many bright colors. We're gonna give her a try. You know how I am. If I don't like it, you'll just hear me complain about it. And I'll change my mind. Or not, and keep plugging away and just keep complaining about it, because, you know, bitching makes me happy, I guess. Anywho, moving right along. I guess my sister felt sorry for me because she saw some of my sad little project bags, because I have too many WIPs, people, if that's possible. I should say I just ran out of bags. I don't think there's anything such thing as too many WIPs. So I went shopping at my sister's. I got the sister discount. But a lot of these she had doubles of. So her shop is open. She has a little Etsy store too. And that's Flat Tire Farm Market. I will have it in the description below. And she probably has most of these listed, because I tried to be nice and only take one if she had two or whatever. So anyways, if you like kitty cats, look at this adorable. These are big enough for your 10 by 10, 11 by 11 Q-snap. So they're good size. With the kitties. And their top zipper. And that more kitties. Super cute. And then she said, we got some Easter dogs. And this top fabric, I do remember seeing it. She said it was vintage fabric from our grandmother. Grandma's stash. It's like a, what is that? All right, fabric people, tell me, is that like a seersucker? It's got that texture to it. Super cute. Very Eastery. Got some fall stuff, because I got all kinds of fall projects I need to kit up. With the super pretty velvet trim. Again, you hear me say this every time. She just has the best eye for putting fabrics together. That is not a gift I have. There's another pretty... I'm a sucker for the birds and the squirrels. She made badge buddies out of that fabric too. She might have some of those. She makes super cute badge buddies. We actually got one for our retreat swag. She made a billion of those. They turned out super cute. So when you go to the retreat, you put your little badge there, name badge. You got a little pocket for your room keys and money. Put your phone back there. They're really cute and super handy to put all your stuff in, so you don't have to carry your purse with you. She has some Patriotic. She calls them Patriotic adjacent. I love them. I love that fabric. And another Patriotic adjacent one. Love it. Because God knows I have all kinds of Patriotic stuff. And again, another one of my favorite trims. Look at that. Cute little flowers. Valentine doggies. So these, I believe, are 25 bucks. Head on over to her Etsy store at Flat Tire Farm Market, and she can hook you up. All right, kids, I think that's it for haul. And now, I'm going to warn you now, I have taken nothing out. So you're going to hear the old zippers. And nothing got ironed, because I'm slack-a-lacking this year. That's usually what I like. I like one time a year to get them all out, iron them up. I don't know. I guess I'm probably more sad about it than y'all are. Anyways, what you gonna do? I counted them once. I think I've got 40 some odd WIPs. I don't think I've crossed the 50 mark yet, so we're doing all right. There's a handful I'm hoping to get finished this year, because again, there's a lot of really cool stuff coming out of market. And you feel kind of guilty when you haven't really finished anything all year. Because again, the projects I like tend to be a little big. But I will show you what I was working on at the retreat. And just last night, I was watching Beth, Red Cross Stitcher, and she gave me a good idea because she was working on this one too. And let me find the picture of it. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. So this is Plum Street Samplers. I Belong With You. I've been working on this one a couple years. It's kind of my go-to retreat piece because that's a whole lot of fill-in. This house is no joke at all. Anyways, this little white band across the bottom, I think kind of detracts, is that a word? Whatever. Makes it look funny. When I could just do it without it. And that's what Beth mentioned. I'm like, you know, I really haven't even started filling that bad boy in yet, so how about we just get rid of it? And then all I gotta do is fill in the giant green hill. So, I think I'm gonna pull that out, what little I have of the I Belong With You, and just fill in the green. So, oh my goodness, kids, I might could have a finish this year. What? Using the called for, that is stitched on 32 count flax. But it's super cute. Like any Plum Street, they're all super cute. Using the called for goodies. What's left of them, they're looking kind of ratty because I really don't have much left. So there's that one. Again, yeah, I started that February of 24. It's been a minute. Next up. What could it be? Let's see here. Oh, speaking of the Williamsburg retreat, this was the Plum Street piece that we got. It's called Autumn in Williamsburg. We got the kit. It's in one of my, I bought this bag there. It's one of the Tammy Blaylock bags. Or Creative Country Girl, yeah. Super cute. On some Cedar River linen. I think it's 36 count, yes. Coffee stain. And that's my start. Super cute. Again, can't go wrong with a Plum Street. She gave us little floss drops. If you saw the last one, you heard me go, but they weren't punched. Like, and it wasn't enough. So there's me being grumpy. Come on. At least give us enough to put all the floss on. Details. Anywho, what's next? Oh. This is another super cute one. Because, you know, someday you're going to hear somebody say, oh, there's this ugly one I started stitching. No. This is JBW Designs. Bluebirds of Happiness. I love all her designs. They're just classically beautiful. And this one's almost done too. I took this to the retreat, but I didn't work on it. Because it was just small enough that I'm like, you know, I'd hate to mess it up now. But look, she's almost done. I just basically have that top corner to do. I don't know. Do I need a better light? Almost done. This is on a 40 count. Cream and Sugar by Fiber on a Whim. Using all the called for. And like I said, I think next time I work on that, it might actually be done. What? 2 finishes this year? Insanity. Because if I would start more smaller projects, I might have half a chance of finishing some. You'd think I'd have learned that lesson by now. No, not even close. Next up, this was my Thanksgiving start with Stacy 911 Stitcher. Any bees released from this fall called Harvest Moon. Ah, that little fence, look at that. I'm a sucker for anything with a flag, with a house, with a cool border. I mean, it checks all the boxes, doesn't it? And am I using mystery fabric? Quite possibly. I think it was just a piece of something in my stash. It's kind of, I think it's a Weichelt, however you want to say it. And that's my lumpy start, if I can get my fabric to cooperate. There we go. Big old moon. And part of the flag, that's what you see there. Those little stripes coming across. I like it. Might switch it over to one of Holly's fall bags. Super cute. See what I mean? I needed some bags. I mean, these are great, don't get me wrong. But I stuffed so much junk in them. It gets a little crowded. I just started this one this past year, The Lord's Prayer by Leela's Studio. So pretty. Every time I see this one finished, you're like, wow, I just need to do it. It's adorable. So I gave her the good top right-hand corner start. And haven't touched it since. So again, if you've been around, you've heard me say, I have my own little weird process. This is my Birds on a Branch floss drops. But all the pretty called fors. I tried to touch all my projects. That's what I was worried about. When you have so many projects, you're like, okay, how do I make certain they all get worked on a little bit? So I did the WIP Go thing, and that was nice. And I usually kept up with it, but then I'm just weird. I like to write stuff down. I kind of do the stats and the percentages and this and that, but not really. I can't, wasn't really my thing. But I do have a calendar, and I write in there what, you know, when I started stuff, when I finished stuff. And I made these little cards with the picture of the project on it, and so I could just keep track of when I've worked on it. And every time I touch a project, and I go in chronological order from the oldest to the newest, and I'll do, when I pull out the project, I'm doing at least 1,000 stitches. People ask, how do you count? Well, I make a working copy, and so that I can keep track of where I'm stitching, I just sit there and color out, yeah, I just did that leaf, I just did that heart, whatever. And in my brain, when I'm coloring, I'm just counting the squares, right? So I just write it down on a little Post-it note and have a date on it, and there I go. On February 14th, I stitched 328 stitches, whatever, and then when I hit approximately 1,000, or I make the decision. When I keep going, am I really enjoying stitching on it? Then I'll keep going. If I'm getting tired of the project because some of them aren't my favorite, but I'm determined to finish them, then it's like, all right, darn it, I'm getting my 1,000 stitches, or I'm close enough and I'm calling it quits. But at least every project got touched. So that's what I'm trying. That was my main thing. I wanted to avoid not touching a project for 5 years and then wondering why the heck I still have it, and then that thread is sitting there wasted and So that's where that came from. So I cycle through them. I'll do the 1,000, I'll put it away, or sometimes I do a couple thousand, whatever it is, like I said, and then move on to the next one. So it keeps my scatterbrain interested, and I know I'm touching all the projects at least once twice, 3 times a year, depending on how quickly I can knock out 1,000 stitches. Clear as mud? Probably. We all have our own weird little things we do, and in a nutshell, that's mine. So I keep saying I'm going to show you the cards, and I showed them once, and then people wanted to download them and this and that, which is fine. I'm all not sharing them, but I got to figure out how to be able to do that. And technology isn't really my strong suit, so it's on my list of things to do. Promise. Promise. Now we're going to hit some of my big girls. And I need your help with this one, folks. Again, if you've been with me, you've heard the story of this. This is Owl Forest Embroidery. Whatever the heck the name of it is. Ever Flowering Garden. How could I forget? I started this, restarted it. It was my first attempt at changing colors. Probably my last. You can go back to any other video that I showed this thing and you'll hear me complain. Woe is me. But the last time I restarted it, I think we switched to, yeah, Vintage Country Mocha on 40 count. Because again, she big. She big. Like, you see how it keeps going? But wait, let me just flip it over. Can we get it all in one shot? There's the top corner. There's the bottom corner. Close up of the colors. And this one, y'all, because I got that Virginia sampler sitting over here calling to me, and I didn't do any color changes, so I can't complain about the colors. I don't know if I want to keep going with this one. I don't super love it. And she's a big girl. And I can only have so many big girls going, or potentially finished ever in my tiny home. So what are your thoughts? Just keep plugging away and grind out my 1,000 at a time, and there's all the pretty called for. Well, it's not called for. Most of it is, and then some of it ain't. And then I changed it. It's a long story with this one. Again, if you're new here, I'm not gonna bore the people that aren't new here. But again, it's a beautiful project. I just don't know how much longer I'm gonna really stick with it. Maybe I just need to be inspired. I know plenty of you out there have finished this thing, and kudos to you, because she's big. And y'all make it look easy. So someone leave me a comment, inspire me, or encourage me to sell it on the D-stash or something, I don't know. Or just hide it under the bed. I don't know what to do with it. Hail. Hail. Moving right along. Oh, another big girl. Ouchie. Trying to bleed on everything. Here, let's not do that. This is one of, when I first started my journey back into cross stitch, God bless Mom. She made all kinds of, pardon me, Flosstube knows. She made all kinds of project bags for me. And I thought the vinyl was the way to go. And it really is. I enjoy being able to look at it at a glance and go, oh yeah, that's what's in there. But I like the cloth ones too. It's all good. Do I have a picture of this one? This might be one I've been meaning to do a picture of. I never did, and this is why it's bad when you don't prepare for your little floss tube. Anyways, it's a chatelaine, and it's Sleeping Beauty's castle. And if I knew anything about technology, I'd be like, and I'm going to put a picture of it right here. So you can just pretend I did, because I don't know anything. And again, here's my sparkly fabric. And there's my metal. Make sure it's actually in the screen. Now, if you know chatelaines, they've got all kinds of beautiful threads and beads and all the good things. All the things that just, again, my little crow brain was like, oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. I gotta do that. So again, I picked one of the most ambitious ones known to man. And there's my attempt at Jessica stitches, and that's why I'm going to take this. I'm going to the Chatelaine retreat this summer in Charlotte, and I'm going to let the pros show me how to do a Jessica stitch because I'm not happy with these at all. And everybody says, oh, you just have to do a few. And I'm like, well, I got about 5,000 more to go. So if someone could show me how you make them look like the flowers haven't been, I don't know, survived a thunderstorm or something, then that would be great because they look kind of bad. And that's why I just stopped. Like, I'll just keep doing the cross stitches, and I'll try my hand at another specialty stitch. But the problem is there's about, like I said, 8,000 Jessicas in there. So if you're gonna do a chatelaine, I highly recommend go to their site, get their PDF. You want the PDF because you'll want to blow things up on your computer so you can actually see them because they're teeny tiny. And print it all out, however many thousands of pages that takes to do. And that's what I've got here. And then go to, is it European Cross Stitch Company, and buy their kits, their beads kit, the floss kit, whatever, because it's just easier. It's going to save you time. This is all the called for beautiful silks and whatnot right there. Just a few. Here's all the beautiful beads. One of my favorite sounds ever. And all the beautiful treasure braid. And again, I'm getting the itch to work on this one because it's so cute. Well, it's not cute. It's way past cute. It's stunning. I can't wait to see more of it. I also have the peacock, the sparkling peacock, kitted up. I have not started it. Maybe I'll start it at the other retreat, or at the retreat, just to say it was apropos. Or maybe I'll learn how to do the Jessica stitch and just be working like a little bee on that because I need to. They're beautiful, but they're big. All right, on to the next one. Again, this is another bag my mama did. I found a cute little sparkly ghost at the Crackle Barrel, so I figured that was a good place for that. Because again, I'm a sucker for anything sparkly. What do we have here? Oh, Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow. I started this. This is my oldest project. So this was back in October of 22, September of 22. You'd think I'd be further along. Called for a DMC. And what is this on? 36 count, picture this plus. Legacy. So I got the middle one done, and 1 1/3 others. But I love the fabric. I love the piece. Slowly but surely. Slowly but surely. Maybe on the next round I'll just do all the squares out so I can at least see how big it's going to be on there. I mean, I know it's going to fit, but I don't know. We'll see. But as you can tell, all the smaller ones, and with any Hawk Run, they're basically full coverage. You know, every little square is basically full coverage. So they take a good while. So you see these people that have all the Hawk Runs done, you just tip your hat to them because that's impressive. That's a whole lot, kids. I also have one of my cool little thread books. Just something else on my Etsy store. Basically a thread book, like a thread bed, but it's a thread book with the little labels. So as you have extra stuff, instead of putting it back on your floss strap, you put it on there. And again, slowly but surely getting books in all my projects, because for the most part, I like one strand. I like the smaller count with just one strand. But, you know, it kind of depends. Not all coverage is the same. I like to see the colors that the designer wanted. So I like the nice, good color coverage. I don't like not a big primitive look. I don't want to see the fabric through my stitches. That's just me. I know everybody has their own preference. Pardon me for a tea break. This is the piece that got me back into cross stitch, basically. And I had to figure out how to stitch on linen, because everything this woman does is gorgeous. This is Jeanette Douglas, Seasons by the Sea. So there are the 4 different seasons, 4 different actual patterns, 4 different floss packs that come with all the beads and charms and whatnot. Highly recommend just buy them. There is a lot of crossover with the threads. So like when you're done with one of the seasons, you're gonna have extra a little bit, and you will see some of the same colors, but if you look closely, you know, she just changes the colors on the border and whatnot. And her newest design that's similar to this layout with the garden, I haven't bought it yet because I'm not gonna buy it until this one's finished. But it's beautiful. I have 2 and a little bit done. So as you can see along the top, it's hard for me to see these. The beautiful variegated silks change with the seasons, of course, and they're just beautiful. So if you haven't gotten this one yet, go ahead and write this one on your list, kids. Totally worth it. I believe this is on Maritime 36 count, which I believe was what's called for. Without digging through here, I'm pretty certain that's what it was. If you're a fan of the Bargello stitching, which is all that beautiful waves and stuff in the middle, this is for you. It's not bad. I messed up the first one, which tried to get me to mess up the second one. So I corrected it on the second one, and then I tidied up the first one. But she looks all right. Only me and Jeanette know, put it that way. Right. Jeanette knows when you've messed up her stuff. She gets an alert. She sends out the help team and just tells you it's okay, keep moving. Right. Since I know Jeanette probably is not watching any of my videos. All right, there's the beautiful called for stuff. Again, there's Krynics, a bunch of different silks. And this is 3 different packs put together, because again, you're gonna have a little bit of leftover here and there. So, highly recommend get the floss packs. Get you some 1, 2, 3 stitch gift cards, and it'll help. Just put it on your wish list, share your wish list to anybody, and say this is what Mama wants. All right, moving right along. Here's another one I will finish this year if it kills me, and you know what, kids, it just might. If you want to look back a couple videos ago, I think it was my mid-year WIP Parade, and it also says Ode to Poe, because I wrote my own little homage to Poe with his Nevermore poem, because I'm over it. I do not like stitching on dark stuff. That's what I learned. Lesson learned. No thank you. No thank you. No thank you. Again, my eyes suck. And I have 0 patience for having to work this hard to stitch with 3 colors. I mean, it's darn cute. Don't get me wrong. I like it. I switched over. I didn't like the coverage of the white because I always struggle with white, so I switched over to sulky, which helped tremendously. sulky white, sulky black. And I'm using the called for, is it Stormy Gray by Fabric Flair, 40 count. And I tell you, I have just struggled. So I will not be doing that giant full coverage Nevermore. I might do the crows. I don't know. We'll see. See if I can tough my way through it. The last little bit I've got to do. Or if I just say, maybe I'll buy a crow button and I'll stick right there. Because I'm ready to put this one in the done pile. So stay tuned, folks. The rotation's coming around to this one here pretty quick. And I don't have much left to do. What was it? Basically, this little part, this little corner over here. And then I make the decision about the crows, and I already know that Nevermore banner ain't gonna happen. Maybe I can just do the word Nevermore, but I'm certainly not doing all that white. Because those of you that know me, all the people that have asked, why do you call yourself the Potty Mouth Stitcher? I never hear you cuss. Stitch with me. Hang out with me. You'll hear it. But I try to be respectful on the videos. Not everybody wants to hear that kind of stuff. I get it. Totally get it. Oh, here's a picture of it. Might be less shiny. Again, it's an adorable piece. This is by Tiny Modernist, if I didn't already tell you that. She has all kinds of stuff. Really cute stuff. He, she, I'm not entirely certain. And I love Edgar Allan Poe. But man, stitching on dark. Not my friend. Here's another fun one. I see a lot of people doing this one this year especially. It's Let Freedom Ring by Leela Studio. I'm doing this on the called for script by Fabric Flair 40 count, and I learned a very valuable lesson on this one too, because I started this one a while back. Yeah, March of 23. When you buy a fat quarter, or whatever this was, because it's the script, see the nice script on there? I thought that would be cool. I saw someone on Instagram did it, and I'm like, oh, I like that. Well, you can see I just have enough fabric because the script is going this way. And I thought I'd have more room one way or the other, but I couldn't do it this way. It was just, I got lucky that it was even going to fit at all. So keep that in mind if you're buying directional fabric. Note to self. But that's what I've got done. Just now, as you can see, getting into the big giant building. Playing with a little bit of 1/1 for the, some of the words are 1/1, not all of them. I don't think all of them are. Or maybe they all are. No, I think the Anno Domini at the back, at the bottom. Got a long way to go to get that one. But anyways, love the colors. It's fun to stitch. Every time I pick it up, I have a tough time putting it back. Highly recommend this one, even though you have the big giant building. But you know what? I love it. Again, love me a good patriotic stitch. So, itchy nose, all the pretty called fors, looking pretty ratty, shoved up in my bag. You know it's old because I got the OG floss drops. Back when I was just using a punch. I'm like, this will work. About 1 billion years ago, I owned a scrapbook store. And that's where all the paper stuff kind of came from. And that's why the floss drops happened first, because I'm like, oh, I can make those better. You know, oh, we don't have to use bobbins anymore? What a concept, you know? Sweet. Even better. Pardon me. So how are we doing? Y'all doing all right? Staying hydrated? You got anything written down on your enabled list yet? Let me know. Let me know if you buy something. We can stitch it together. You can encourage me to stitch it more often, maybe. I'd be cool with that. Plum Streets is one of my favorite designers. And I just love the colors on this. This is Blackberry House. I am stitching this 2/2 on a 32 count. Mystery fabric. But we're getting there. Got the cute little house starting on that big beautiful bowl. And it's just a beautiful color. See the variegation in that? It's really nice. Super pretty. Actually, you know, she does a great job with her colors. That's just me. Using the calling for it. Look, oh. Again, I'm a sucker for blingy things. Don't know where I got this one from right off, but look at it, isn't it pretty? Nice. Also has one of my little books in it. See the sparkles? Oh yeah. This one's much more used. Look, there's my little mascara thing. How'd that get shoved in there? That's why I can't have nice things, because I forget where I put half of them. And they just randomly show up during a WIP parade. Look. Luckily, I think I just got one at the, Megan just took me up. All right, the nose. I've seen other floss tubers talk about it, so I know it's not just me. It's like, oh my gosh, you feel like a little cokehead. You're just sitting there, taking out your nose. Sorry, kids, I digress. Next up, I was at a shop in Columbus. I'd like to remember the name of it, but it's eluding me. Is it on here? Oh, it is. Can I read it? Cross my heart. Without glasses, you got to be impressed. All right, and I saw this because they had it as a sample on the wall. Wow. Again, colors are much better in person. Look at those colors. Gorgeous. I'm like my mama. I'm a sucker for purples. Purples and blues. So I said, shut up and take my money. And I am stitching this on a 36 count heirloom by Needle Bling. And there she is. Just finally getting into the house. I haven't touched this one in a hot minute. But she's pretty. I'm looking forward to seeing this one come together. Let's see if I can get you a close-up of the house here, because the variegation in that is really cool. Maybe? There it is. With the pretty little flowers. So cute. That's the problem with WIP parades. The good and bad about WIP parades. You're like, oh, I'm gonna stitch on that. I need to stitch on this. I need to stitch on that. You're reminded of how many cute projects you've got. Oh, here we go, kids. This was my birthday start a couple years ago. Yes, almost 3 years ago now. And I've seen, this is Heartstring Samplery. She said she was gonna put out the full piece, but has anyone seen the sneak peek of, I'm guessing, it has to be something to do with Noah's Ark. This is considered the lilies, and of course she has the companion piece, his eyes on the sparrow, is that what it's called? I mean, I fell in love with that border and all these cute little motifs years ago, and then she's teasing me with something that looks really similar, but with all these little cute little animals. I'm like, oh no. I think that one's gonna go in the basket. You know what I'm saying? Here's the pretty called for. I'm stitching this on a 46 count because I'm crazy. Cappuccino by Fiber on a Whim, and I love it. And I really just need to dedicate a whole month to this thing. I have the border of it. Pieces parts. You can see my transition from top left start when I used Q-snaps to heading over this way, because then I started stitching in hand. And then I wanted to make certain maybe the border would half look like it's not going sideways. And I think this was probably my closest border yet. Every once in a while in my titles of my videos, you'll see the count, the running count of borders versus me, and the borders usually win. Not gonna lie, kids, somehow, some way, counting is difficult. But anyway, she's gorgeous. I love it. I'm a sucker for these samplers that have all the teeny tiny little motifs and a good border. Again, checks all the boxes. Heartstring samplery. Just find your favorite shop. Go ahead and pre-order whatever it is she's putting out, because you're gonna want it. And I'll be stitching it with you. So let me know in the comments when you get it, when you'll be starting it, and I will join you with the start along, because you know it's going to be 17 years later by the time I, get halfway through it. That's all right. We're all in good company. Next up. Oh. Another one of my favorites. Memories of the Past. This is Hands Across the Sea. My gosh, if you've not seen this thing done, go Google it, kids. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. I drool over it every time I pull this thing out. This is the called for DMC. Stunning, stunning colors. I'm getting to it, I promise. 40 count. Platinum. That's what this is on. Oh. Every time I see it. Look at this thing. Get you some close-ups of these colors. Aren't they gorgeous? So bright. I would not, when I first put these together, I'm like, what? Look at all these crazy bright pinks and oranges and what? What is that? What? No way. Yes. Yes way. They are beautiful. 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 Go buy this one, kids. Just look at it. Favorite. Top 5 projects that I just need to take like a mental health 3 months off and work on this one, work on Consider the Lilies. I don't know. But then you know how it is, then you feel sad. The closer you get to it being done, then you're like, wow. Well, I love it this much when it just hangs on the wall. Does anyone else have these weird conundrums? Deep thoughts. Oh. This one. This is a Barefoot Needle Art bag. They do a nice little bag. Is it quarterly, monthly? I forget. They've got a club. And this is the Country Cottage Needleworks Beach Boardwalk. I'm doing all of them together. I believe there's 7. I'm doing it on a piece of fabric by Barefoot Needle Art. It is called Sea Mist. And it's beautiful. This is a 40 count. Look at that. So I started in the middle to make certain it was going to fit on this piece. Kind of ran the sand down. Just finished this one this, I think, summer or August, last time I touched this one. I'm gonna start, I don't know, I might just run it over to the other end and do this one. See how I'm feeling. But they have beautiful fabric. So many pretty colors. You can't go wrong. I think they got 2 new colors coming out this year, or for spring. A blue and a neutral. Very pretty. Here's all the called for mangled up overdyes. Can't go wrong with the pretty blues. And love these. Super cute. It's another fun one to stitch. When you get going on it, they go pretty quick. I do appreciate all the Country Cottages little ones. They're super neat. All right, here's another big girl that I love to stitch on. Every time I pull this one out, it's delightful. Teresa Kogut. Let Love Rain. There's the whole piece. Guess what drew me in? That's right. It's a Teresa Kogut. And the border. Yeah. Just. At first I was concerned that I picked a slightly too dark fabric, but there she is again. I don't think I won with this border either, but that's okay. I'm not bitter. Anyways, here this corner has a little bit more of the pretty blues, and they're just stunning. Pretty much anything she does is gorgeous. If I happen to see her at market, I'm gonna try not to go to like level 10 fangirl. I'm just gonna try to quietly sit in the corner and be like, wow. Stuff she's putting out is beautiful. I love those stockings. I haven't bought them yet, but I'm sure they'll be added. Using the called fors. What I've gotten to so far, I think. Is there anyone else out there that thinks you should just buy Oscar by the box? I just bought like 5 more skeins of it at Barefoot this weekend because I'm like, between Brenda Gervais, Teresa Kogut, everybody's got the Oscar. They probably just has one little, they should have just one little company dyeing all the Oscar, or one little building that dyes Oscar all day long. It's just the perfect green, isn't it? Anyways, that's me. Again, another bag by Mom. Pretty much hitting all the Mom bags. Look, here's another one. Mom bag. This is another Rosewood Manor. Maybe I didn't say that the last time. The Lacey Cottage was Rosewood Manor. Again, someone else that just, anything she does is stunning. Dreaming of Mums, I fell for these colors. Not my normal palette by any stretch, but man, you put them together and just, you can't be sad when you see all of those colors. Can't. I dare you. This is done on a 40 count Milk and Honey by Fiber on a Whim. Using all the called for gorgeousness, and they are, I mean, look at that. Look at those. It's just so pretty. So pretty. Like a giant grapefruit. Here we go. That's what I've got done so far. Basically like a page or two. Because like all things Karen Kluba, they're fussy. Fussy, fussy. There's a lot of color changes. Tiny little motifs. But that's just what makes them so pretty. You know, there you go. I'm trying to play with the light, but I'm telling you, gorgeous. Highly recommend. I saw her at, I was at the Galleria in September. Bought a couple more things. Or actually, she had kitted up stuff, so I bought fabric and thread for a couple, like the piece, the Christmas piece one she did, that I already had the pattern. And I did buy another pattern, and I've got kitted up, and I took with me to the retreat, but I did not start it. But maybe this year. Maybe this year. This is one of the pieces I started at StitchCon this past year. A friend of mine, Mountain Mama Stitches is her floss tube. She bought floss drops from me on Etsy, and she's like, hey, this is gonna be my birthday start, and it has more floss than I thought. Can I get another pack? Whatever. Sent her stuff, and she was like, I'm thinking about doing a floss tube. I'm like, girl, absolutely you should. You know, why not? Do it. So she did. And then on her first or second video, she does a giveaway of the pattern that she was doing, because apparently she had bought 2 of them. You know how we do that? And so I actually commented on the thing, and believe it or not, I won it. Because when she showed me the pattern she was working on, I was like, girl, look at that, is gorgeous. I'd never seen it before. So this is Ernestine Briere by Refletosoir, or however you say that. There you go, for those of you that actually are in the know. And it is stunning. So this started my obsession with the 20 count. So I found this piece of 20 count by Atomic Ranch. I think it was there at the annex. And help me, StitchCon. So this is Mellow Stone by Atomic Ranch, 20 count. I believe it goes like this. Look at that. So those of you, that's the question I answered quite a bit this past weekend for people that hadn't worked on 20 count before. It's like, absolutely try it. It is so easy to work on, and it looks, because it is so small. I mean, it's very delicate, very pretty. This is 1 thread of DMC. Great coverage. So now I have started another one with the 100 threes and the 20 count, and I started it doing 1, but I've since switched to 2 count because they're just, they're just much thinner. So I think I like the coverage better with the 100 threes with 2 over 1 on a 20 count. But anything else I've used with the 20 count, I have used just 1 thread. And again, I'm just saying that because those were some of the questions I got this past weekend. This is another Barefoot Needle Art bag. Pretty colors. These are the month ones. Month Quakers. By who? From the Heart. And I think I have June done, or August, but this is July. Done on some mystery stash, whatever. Maybe one of these years I'll do the little cute little box for a calendar. Maybe. These go pretty quick, so when it does roll around in my rotation, yeah, you know, when you do small things, you actually see progress. Wow. Is that why people do small stuff all the time? How exciting. It's like the Dave Ramsey of stitching, you know, just little bites. You get it done. Ah, well. Y'all wouldn't know how to act if I just did small things. You'd be like, what? What are you doing? Here's another one of my favorite designers. Rochetta Agogo. It just has this cute stuff. This is 4th of July in the City. Or 4th of July City. Guess what I did it on? Sparkly fabric. Because there's fireworks. So I thought it deserved sparkly fabric, right? And I've got it going on the top row there. Super cute. It's fun to stitch on too. Love the colors. Using all the called for DMC. 2 over 2, I believe. Yeah, it's a 32 count. Sparkly Darkly. Mystery fabric. I don't know. It says Weigart. Who does all that? No. White Joel. It's the orange. You tell me. I assume that's them. Another one of my books. I don't have but so many. Well, I have some up on the site. Put it back in there. And this is one of my Gamos Treasures bags. I like her small bags. They're cute. Here's another one. I like birds too. I'm a bird nerd. This is Sampler with Bouquets. It's a Jardin Privé. I have to say it with an accent just because it makes me feel like I know what I'm saying. I probably don't. It's 3 patterns together, but that's what it looks like when it's put together. They're a little tricky, the patterns. I've already messed some stuff up and had to frog some stuff, but that's all right. I got it figured out. I'm doing this on some Stash Ada that I had. But I just love it. Colors are pretty. Again, this whole company, all their stuff has the prettiest colors. And super fun to stitch. Goes pretty quick. I'm on the second pattern. There we go. Is that better? But I got I think 2 others by them. And it's not a lot of colors. Super easy stitch. Highly recommend any Jardin Privé. There we go. However you say that. Spring Garden? Is Privé spring? I'm just guessing. I took Spanish in high school and a year of Italian at Kent State, and mixed them all up. Italian is a really good mix of French and Spanish. Gonzo. It was enough to just make me kind of blank on all language. There's days, clearly, words are hard. English is difficult for me. Another one of Mama's bags. And this, did I get this one from Hobby House? Maybe. Mary Gibson. When they did a kit, I got it as a kit from somewhere. Love these colors. Super cute. I think it was a Hobby House one. It's using Thornfield, 46 count, needle and flax, by needle and flax, Thornfield. Here we go. Start it over here. Now when I get up to 46 count, I usually put it in a hoop because it's so tiny. I'm not quite that good to stitch that in hand. And it's using the called for silks. Soie d'Alger. There they are. Super pretty. And fun once you get going on it. As you can see, that's the length of it, I think. I'm not too far from the corner. And Thornfield is a very pretty color. Those perfect little sampler colors. Yes. Oh, just look on my notes here. Bought from Hobby House Needlework. Awesome. You'd think I'd have more of that done. I've had it for a hot minute. Yeah, May of 24 is when I started it. Oops. Yeah. Chart layout. But anyway. Whilst Iris Naps. There's several more designs that I think I bought one more. And then probably have 5 others in my cart somewhere, but I tried to show some restraint here and there. Alright, I think my friend Gina made this bag. I needed a big one, because can you hear that sound? That's right. Beads! There's beads! And I ordered one of those tacky bills. I think I ordered like 2 of them. I got one for this project and one for my chatelaine at the same time. And how apropos, but this was the one they sent me. I'm like, wow, that's pretty darn good, because this is for One Nation by Bygone Stitches. So I'm like, well, I know which one that one's going to. So like everybody, this is, you know, using the called for 3 colors. I thought, you know, people have been doing their own variations on a theme on how to, you know, because it has all the states on there. It's like states you've lived in, states you're from, whatever, states you visited. I've seen 1,000 different variations, and I'm like, that's cool. What can I do? So here she is so far. I've been working on them stars. I know there's 50, but it seems like there's 5,000. But anyways, so since I like beads, and there's cute little, is it a motif? I guess technically it is. But in between all the little states, there's just a little star. So I made those beads. And then in the middle of all the stars, instead of stitches, I made those beads. And I like them. I think they're cute. Just a little different. And when I get to Ohio and Virginia, I will stitch them all in beads. Because again, I'm from Ohio, but I live in Virginia. And I have no intention of moving because I can't imagine packing up this house and moving it. I'm going to leave that for the stepchildren to figure out someday. Be like, Godspeed. It's all yours. That's it. So yes, this is on a 32 count ale, doing 2/2 with the called for 3 colors. And it's a lot of fun. I just figured I really just need, once I get past the stars, it's got to be all downhill from there. So every time I pick it up, I just keep working on those stars. The blue is all done. I have no more blue to stitch on there, so that's good. So in my mind, I'd like to think I'm 33% done, but I know that I'm not. So it's just the fun things you tell yourself to make you feel like you've got some progress. This is another Creative Country Girl bag. Bought this when I met her at the Kentucky retreat, Rocky Ranch Run. Alliteration can be difficult for those of us that don't remember things. But at her retreat, it was a good time. This is Julia Rachel de la Mare. Kathleen Littleton. Using the called for beauties. What am I stitching this on? 40 count. Hemingway. This thing is not that big. It's hard to see on this fabric, or at least maybe this light, but I do have the border down. I can tell you this border, just follow the pattern, y'all. Just follow the pattern. Anyways, look at those pretty flowers. It's another stunningly intricate with all the color changes. It's super pretty. 40 count. This is 1/2. Yes, 1/2. Super pretty. And fairly easy to work on. You say that and then you're like, no. I've enjoyed it. Been a while since I've touched her. She's coming around. In my, oh dear God. Zippers can be tricky. All right, kids, we're getting there. We're getting there. I see the end. Another Gamma's treasure bag. What could it be? Oh. It's like Christmas. What's in here? This is a stitch along. I started with my friend Jan Stiff Stitches on Flosstube. It's the Autumn Quakers. Rosewood Manor. Ta-da! And this is one of hers that uses the Valdani threads that, I mean, are beautiful variegation in these. So they stitch up so pretty. What am I doing this on? Tea-dyed Lugana 28 count. Because you pretty much have to use a 28 count for these threads, because you do not separate them if you have not used Valdani's before. But man, are they beautiful. So, and it goes pretty quickly once you start. What was that, 2 pages worth, I think? Look at that leaf. Look at that, how pretty. So highly recommend. She has several of them that use the Valdani sets. Never used them, give them a try. They're a lot of fun, just to see them come together. Variegation's really, really pretty. And they all have interesting names, like P1, M90. So, but I get it. Now that we've started naming things, I get it. You're like, well, what do we do? And that's why we was like, well, how about cat names? Because there's only so many names for beige, and I don't have Martha Stewart's knack for naming colors, so that's why we have gems like the Dolly Mama and Buddy. Buddy McWhistleshits. Just saying. All right, this bag is one my sister made me. Where's the other one? Did I already show it? Did I not get all of my projects? It's entirely possible, kids. Yeah, I know. One is missing. That means there's probably more than one missing. I apologize. You're getting tired of listening to me ramble anyways. You'll just be surprised next time. Because, yeah, I don't think I have... I don't know. Anyways, we were cleaning out Mom and Dad's house. We found these quilt squares. And she thought maybe she'd take them home and do a quilt with them. And when I saw them, I was like, you know, those would be really cute project bags. So for Christmas that year, she made me 2 project bags. One was pink and one was purple, and I'm not seeing it, so there's another one somewhere. This is the day. Okay, sorry. No one wants to hear me think out loud. Anyways, this is the super awesome project bag she made me. Project inside is Plum Street Samplers. This is the day. I started this at the Barefoot Retreat last year. Yep. And it's on Sandy Beach by Fox and Rabbit. 32 count. Look at that. And this is a fun stitch. You'd think with all those bricks that would be intimidating. It's actually not. It's pretty fun. And all the pretty colors. I really like. Very nice. And again, maybe I'm a little biased. It's Plum Street. Yeah. We all have our thing. And again, there's the called for pretties. Yeah. So yeah, that threw me off. What else am I missing? Where the heck are they? Oh, they're around here somewhere. Maybe the cats are stitching them. That'd be great. Another mama bag. This one is Serenity by Teresa Kogut. This came out a couple years ago, I think. Probably longer. Oh, 24. I got lucky. And every time I stitch on it, again, I'm like, man, I need to stitch on this more because it's just beautiful. What am I doing this on? Up in the Attic, 36 count by Fox and Rabbit. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? I keep forgetting, I think I just got it. That peachy color for the moth there in the corner is what I don't have. I think I did just buy it. 24. It's like 2-3 times it was on my list and I could never find it. It was always out. I think I snagged it at Barefoot this time. Woohoo! Using all the pretty called for. Again. DMC just doesn't hang as nice on the floss straps as the silk does. Anyways, it's all good. Still pretty. Adorable. Probably don't want that red ones there. 2 more, kids, and then, you know, the random ones I'm missing. Like the one I just started. I don't think that's this one. I know it's not. I got a couple that I'm missing. The one I started with Stacy for New Year's. Somewhere. We'll all be surprised when they show up. All right, this is usually when I get to be the passenger princess, because Rusty's driving us somewhere. then I whip out the Mill Hills, because since it's paper and the holes are giant, I can't mess that up too badly. So I can. This is my current Mill Hill project. It's crocus. And I'm getting real close to the beads. You see? There you go. Very pretty. Not a lot of this is full coverage. A lot of fill in there. But if you do Mill Hills, get you one of these magnetic frames, whether they're fancy dancy. I got the smaller ones from Barefoot, the plastic ones that they 3D print. They work great for the little ornament shapes. They have like 2 or 3 sizes. Definitely go check them out. But it makes it so much easier. The first couple, I did a bunch of ornaments, and the first few I did, I was all cramped up with your hand trying to hold that paper and give it tension. Oh. So yeah, when I finally started seeing these, I was like, oh man, much better. Much better. So yeah, definitely get one of the frames. And this is the last one, but like I said, I know I'm missing at least 2, which is all good. Let me dig all my goodies out of here. It's another one of the Country Cottage Needlework series. What is this? Santa? Yeah, Santa's Village. They are adorable. I've seen them done all together, so that pretty little candy cane kind of border is adorable, and the little holly border, super cute. Doing like 4 across. I think there's 12 in the series. But I thought I want to do these as ornaments and flat finishes. So I have one of them done, and then started another one. But they really are adorable. Super cute. And this is on 36 count. I think it's just like, I don't know, I didn't write it down, so make up a name. Beige. Maybe I should have picked something a little bit darker because of all that wonderful snow, but that's all right. It's cute. Look at the roof on that one. You see that? Ba-doop, boop, boop. I can't see because my big old hand's in the way, but look. Cute little shingles. Adorable. All right, kids. Well, I know it's not everything, but that's everything that made it out to the she shed to show you this time around. So, I hope you found something that inspires you to go on to your favorite L&S and add to your stash along with all your market goodies that you probably just purchased. And I hope to be back probably towards the end of March. Again, market is the first week of March, so give me a week or 2 to recoup and get some stitching done to have something to show you. Otherwise, that would be boring, and maybe I'll find the 2 or 3 projects that I know are missing. And maybe I'll start the Virginia sampler. I don't know. I might get a wild hair and go for it. So, again, give me your feedback on what kind of fabric you want to see. You know, what's your favorite count to stitch on? If you're working on any of these projects or you have them in your stash, let me know. Pull them out, stitch them with me. Say, hey, I want to stitch with you the next time you work on whatever. And we will tag team it and encourage each other to actually get something finished this year. That's my plan. Let's get something finished this year. Other than that, you know what, kids? I don't know what else to tell you. I hope everything's finally getting warmed up. There's still piles of snow in my yard, but we're getting there, slowly but surely. I hope you get more time to stitch. I hope you don't have to frog anything for the next 6 months, and everything goes your way. So I'll talk to y'all soon. Take care. Bye.